Welcome to Crashing Game Night. My name is Matt Diorio. We are joined tonight by Madam M herself, Mallory Low, as well as our chief, now named Scar Lion's Mane, Jason Belidio.
How's it going, guys? How's it going?
We're also joined by Dark Helmet himself, Theo Walski.
Really? Just because of the up the nose thing, we gotta go Spaceballs and I'm Black Helmet. Really? No.
Yes.
That is not gonna be a thing. This will last one episode and it will not be a thing.
And don't worry, because we didn't catch him playing with his dolls, as our special co-host tonight is Soldier First Class.
I mean, I don't know if I play with dolls. I collect dolls.
Action figures.
Action figures.
Action
They have
figures.
a name, Matt. We have rules.
Just because you say collect doesn't necessarily imply what you do with them off screen.
Yeah.
That's very true.
Pure
So-
intention, I promise.
So how's everyone doing tonight?
Man, I'm surviving. I'm surviving. I'm doing great. I'm happy to be here with you guys and happy to meet my bodyguard, Soldier First Class here.
You're very welcome, madam.
Madam M's bodyguard. I love it.
Madam M.
Okay, Soldier, you gotta explain the backstory on how you went with that.
Okay,
'Cause
so
all of a sudden it showed up on your Twitter. I'm like, what the heck?
when Madam M got revealed in the information drop, I was like, oh my god, I already love this character, and I've never even heard her talk. Like just the way they revealed her and like what they said about her and stuff, I thought it was really cool. And like I like Japanese culture, so the fact that you have this traditionally dressed Japanese character inside of Wall Market, which has always kind of felt like a very Japanese location anyway, I was like, okay, I really like this character. I want to learn more about her. And then when the game came out and I got the review code for the game and I was playing through Wall Market, I just, after that, I was like, okay, boom, Madam M's bodyguard. Kind of a play on the Cloud Strife bodyguard thing with Aerith, but instead it's Madam M.
I love that. Yeah, she's a pretty badass character. Definitely.
She really is.
Yeah.
My favorite
Funny,
of
too.
the Wall Market characters.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I'm glad that I can help bring her to life for you guys.
So, Jason, I
Yes.
see your Sans mask. I mean, we are under
We
that
have
10
five.
person.
We have 5 people.
I know,
Last
right?
time we had
How
over
is,
6.
How's that Costco life?
Costco life is still a lot of interesting people.
You work at Costco?
Yeah, I do work at Costco, and
Wow.
every morning, like I leave right as the store opens. Obviously because of right now what's going on, and there's always a line, at least like a 75-person line. And this, like, we open at 8 o'clock on certain days, and 75 people just waiting before 8 o'clock. I don't know where they come from.
Well, I just want to say thank you for working and
Oh,
for supplying everybody and helping us all, survive during those times. So thank you for working at Costco. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Yeah, it's good. It's fun. If it's just, right now it's a lot more people need to stay inside. We've seen a few people
Totally.
more than we should, and people just nonstop are always asking if there's toilet paper, paper towel. Well, I don't know. We're probably sold out.
I mean, you mentioned people need to stay at home. I mean, we're having people starting to just gather in huge groups and protest things. It's like, guys, come on.
I'm still a fan. Just like stay home. Like it's terrible right now, but think of the long run, and we're gonna have one massive party right when everything opens back up.
Oh, everybody. You know it's gonna be like that.
Oh.
So, Theo, I gotta ask you, what was that new piece for your rig that you got?
Oh, the new piece for my rig?
Yes.
It's a sensor that will record how I lift and aim my bow.
Nice.
So it will track whether or not I'm consistent and whether I'm left to the right or I'm slanting or anything like that. So I'm pretty excited to try it out so that way I can be able to monitor my consistency for my shooting.
Better than using a GoPro?
Yeah, since you can't really see like little twitches, so it will record like a centimeter of movement as like an inch on the screen.
Sheesh.
So
Wow.
it definitely detects a lot for being such a small tiny thing that's only like centimeter by a centimeter.
Yeah, your post on Instagram made you like a kid in a candy store on Christmas.
Yeah,
Just going-
it's having fun.
Yeah.
And you never know, if I post enough, I might get another sponsor.
Maybe it'll be Hoyt because then you don't have to spend so much money on their gear.
Or it could just be
Yeah.
Raid Shadow Legends.
Yes.
For no reason. Just no reason.
Just cause. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Oh, well, I had a week, so everything's broke at work.
As it should be.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
so
technically your job is to handle
is.
things that are broken.
I mean,
so if
What
it's not
do you
broken,
do for
you
work?
don't got a
I'm
job.
sorry if I don't.
I work in the operations center for Anthem, so the big insurance company. So
Oh.
no, I don't mean everything's broke. It's just one of those weeks where it just everything's happening. But I think a lot of it has to do with is as a nation, everybody's working from home now.
Yeah.
So that's a whole different dynamic than we're all used to. Like Mallory, I mean, for any type of anybody's approaching you for voiceover work or anything like that, you're probably having to record at home versus in the studio.
Absolutely.
So it's a completely different dynamic for you. So for me, still adapting to working at home, much like everybody else, it's like you have things happen that don't normally happen because you've got an internet infrastructure that is completely taxed. I mean,
Yes.
the U.S. internet was not meant to have this many people at home streaming Netflix, playing online,
Yeah.
doing whatever. So no, it's fun, but at the same time, it's like I get off work and I'm like, as much as I want to play Final Fantasy VII, my mind is drained and I want to give that game its full attention, and I haven't been able to do that this week. So,
Yeah.
but we'll talk about that a little bit later. So let's start off with at the top. I want to give a shout out to a man that everybody who is a fan of our podcast that listens to know. You know him as Newman.
Newman.
The antagonist
Yep.
to Jerry.
Miss Newman.
Jerry's not here
Yeah,
today,
Yeah, we missed those.
We are in
missed
need
those
of a
Newman
classic
comments.
Newman comment. We
We
need
are. But he is recovering from cancer surgery, so I want to wish him the absolute best and fastest recovery possible, because cancer is no joke, and
Absolutely.
I'm glad they were able to get it in before we hit the peak. But Newman, we love him, man.
Wish you the best, man.
Shout
wish
out.
you the best.
Absolutely.
Yep, definitely.
Sorry
So-
to see you.
So, with that, Mal, let's talk a little bit about your 17-year career.
Ooh.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Hey,
You can't tell anybody
when-
my age. No, just kidding. They can probably see it on the internet anyway, so it doesn't matter.
She's 18, everybody. She's fine.
right?
Always
I
gonna
mean,
be 18 here, okay?
I mean, you're
Asians don't
Asian.
age, right?
Exactly. You look 18
That's
from
what they
now
say.
until you hit 65, and then it just
I mean,
boom.
take Theo. I mean, he's been babyface ever since I've known him.
No. No baby face here. What you talking about?
But
You
hey,
do have a baby
as-
face. You do. It's a cute
he
baby.
does. He's got the little cute little cheeks. You just want to pinch him.
Yes. I just wish that my eyes wouldn't close every time I smile, though.
Well, unfortunately,
He's trying so hard not to close them.
yeah. So I will say so. Like your co-voice actor Austin Lee Matthews warned, I do my research. So let's look a little bit of your acting history, right?
Oh boy.
So you started off as a Nick Kid. good old Nickelodeon
What?
in Just for Kicks.
Did. Yes.
Yes.
I did.
Yes, Soldier.
Yes.
I do my research.
What?
I know he
Yes.
does it really well. I'm pretty surprised. Yeah, I mean, it was a series that Whoopi Goldberg executive produced, and she was really cool, really awesome. And it was a show about soccer. It was about 4 girls on a soccer team, and with the love of the game, they try to, you know, be on the same team, and like they go through like, you know, boy trouble, school trouble, kind of all this kind of stuff, and then, you know, they become like the bestest friends. It was very fun experience.
Looking at 80s icons and stuff like that too is you were also guest starred on Secret Life of the American Teenager, which of course stars Molly Ringwald.
Molly Ringwald.
Yeah, and then
I didn't
also
have a scene with her, unfortunately, but it's okay. Shailene though, Woodley, the actress, I did have a scene with her. She was really cool. Everybody's been really cool, which is a blessing.
You were a guest star on Ironside, which starred Blair Underwood. You have several episodes of How to Get Away with Murder with the one impeccable Viola Davis.
Yes. Oh my God.
How is that?
Oh, okay.
Is she as intimidating
I like
as she comes
Soldier's
across?
face, by the way.
What?
I just like Soldier's face right now. He's
What?
so
I'm
baffled.
gonna have to go back and look at these things just to see it. Like, what?
So I would like to say that whatever you're paying him as your bodyguard, you need a refund because obviously he didn't do a background check.
No. It's
Don't listen to them.
It's mercenary work, man.
Come on, I need a bodyguard that like knows me, man. Come on, that's gonna.
I just got to get the job done.
Hey.
That's all I'm here for.
Which would, you have a soldier first class, but then you also have a SHD agent that actually does their homework.
Oh.
Yeah.
Intelligence is your job.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes,
Weighing
the
the options
Ron-
the
here.
intelligence. He won't take a bullet for you like Soldier will.
Yeah.
Oh, difference is
Yeah.
I would put a bullet in them before they even got close. That's my job.
Because you're too far away from them.
Hey, it's all about being a sniper.
Sometimes
Anyways.
you just got to go old school, man. Like you just gotta do it.
Just gotta be in the
Sometimes
way,
you just
be the wall.
Yeah,
Sometimes
just be
you
a
just gotta
giant
bring a
sword.
knife. Just bring a knife to a gunfight. Yeah. So how was it working with Viola Davis?
Oh my gosh. Well, it was. I'm gonna say. I know everybody says this about every experience, and I'm probably gonna say this about every experience, but it was phenomenal. She is obviously one of the best actresses out there. But I have a funny story about How to Get Away with Murder. I was on it, let's say, 4 times, but only made it in 2 episodes, which is really funny. The first episode, it was just, a short little one-liner. I play one of the law students in the first season, that would like stand up and like answer one of her questions really intelligently, like I know law jargon, which was really funny because I had to really research so that I can understand what I'm saying to make it make sense, because I'm going to law school. But the funny thing about it is the first episode, I ended up on the cutting room floor, which is something that you have really no control over. So what I did was I had such a great experience that I have a friend who owns this bakery, and I had the friend make like a really great bouquet of baked goods, and I had them send it over to production so that it can get to Shonda Rhimes, who is the executive producer of one of the executive producers of How to Get Away with Murder.
I didn't realize she executive produced that because she's actually the producer on the show my wife is watching, Grey's Anatomy.
Yes, long time. So Pete Norwalk also too is like her partner, and then they did Grey's Anatomy. They did How to Get Away with Murder, and they're doing a few other shows right now. But yeah, so she ended up getting the basket, and I know, I think it's because of the basket, but I got called back again, like straight to set, and was like, we want to bring her back. And so, I did my thing and I was on set. Didn't make it again. Oh my God. They really hate me. They really think I'm probably doing such a terrible job. And lo and behold, they call me back a third time. And I heard from, my agents at the time, they got a note from production saying, listen, tell Mallory that we love her. We want her to come back we wrote her back in for another episode. Is she available at this date? And I was like, of course, and I went in and finally I made it in the cut, my little wall jargon thing. And then they called me back again, and that was that. So the great thing about it is I was able to say that, it was a recurring 4 times. And, I did get paid for all 4 days, but the experience was fantastic. It was very nerve-wracking because in those scenes, I'm sure you've seen the show, you have to stand, she calls you in class, and you have to literally stand up and, say your line in front of, like, I swear, it's like about 20 people, like in a college lecture class, 20 people sitting there, like, looking at you, like, and it was pretty intimidating, but I was able to get the law jargon out, and it was a great experience. It was really, really cool. Hard work.
Watching the one clip that you had on, that they have as your reel and stuff on IMDb, it's like Viola Davis, though, she's just, that character is just intimidating to begin with. It's just like, she asks the question, you answer it, and then she's like, exact, and then she goes into this whole, like, little mini monologue that it's like,
Absolutely.
It's
with that
what makes
show, right? With that show, it has a certain type of tone and cadence and rhythm to the dialogue. A lot of things, especially with that show and also Grey's Anatomy, you'll find that the timing is very quick, right? So they want you, even in the audition room, when I auditioned for the character, is Miss Leibowitz, which is really funny because we just said that maybe she's adopted, but it's a funny name that they gave my character. But when I auditioned for her, they actually had me speed up the dialogue. So it was like a paragraph of law jargon, and they said, great, we like that take, but let's speed it up a bit. So that's kind of how they run their shows, with the faster cadence of dialogue.
Oh.
Yeah.
And as you bring that up, and I can agree with that, especially because hearing Grey's Anatomy going on in the background while I'm either working or playing Animal Crossing or whatever, and it's like, it's a certain tempo. It's like a show, one show that's notorious for tempo is Gilmore Girls, and it's like that show is just like right on. You got to keep on going with it, and that's what I noticed kind of on that clip. It was like you barely even finished the line, and Viola Davis is already jumping on it.
Just on it, yeah, totally, yeah.
Yeah.
I just point out,
she won many. That's why she won many awards for that show. I mean, she's fantastic.
I mean, she's just an amazing actress, just hands down. What the?
I just want to point out, if anybody has been listening to this show and has gotten a feel for who Matt is, Gilmore Girls is not an example that would come out of his mouth. That has to be his wife, not him.
I've watched it with my wife.
That's
like,
actually his. That's actually his secret shame show. Don't let him fool you.
No, man.
He's like, when I'm not playing video games, I'm watching Gilmore Girls.
Oh, no. Beat Bobby Flay. No, actually, our show that we're watching right now is Lucifer.
That's a
great show. That's a good show.
We're into season 4 right now, and now I'm like, we're going through like every, an episode every night, sometimes 2 episodes, and I'm like, we're gonna run out of stuff because they're not even done with the last season yet, because they, like Hollywood, a lot of it's shut down right now, and so it's that, and we also watched The Rookie.
Yes, I love The Rookie so much.
Love The Rookie. It is one that, if you haven't seen it yet, you got to watch it. Nathan Fillion as a 40-year-old rookie LAPD officer. It is
so good.
It is great. So now you look at another role that this is one that I think even goes more above Viola Davis, is you are Livewire on DC's Superhero Girls. Now, with this, I have to ask you, like, because I'm a fan of a lot of these, but what's it like to work with some of the quintessential female voice actresses in the industry. We're talking Tara Strong, who
Yep.
everybody knows that's Harley Quinn. She's also the voice of Riku in Final Fantasy X. You've got Carrie Walgren, who is in FF7 as some additional voicing.
Mhm.
She's also Jessica, as well as Rick's computer in Rick and Morty. You've got Grey
Love
Griffin,
that show.
who is Catwoman, and she's Daphne in Scooby-Doo. You've got Kimberly Brooks, who plays Oracle in the Arkham series, as well as Ashley Williams in Mass Effect. But then you've also got a couple of big names like Fred Tascori, who plays Don Corneo in FF7. He's also in the show, and Max Middleman as well, Red 13. But what's it like to be able to voice act with those women? And specifically, you don't really get a lot of notoriety on that side unless you're Tara Strong or Grey Griffin. But what's it like to work with them?
Oh my gosh, at first I'm going to be honest, it was a little intimidating because I felt like a friend of mine that's also on the show, her name is Christina Milicia, and she plays Poison Ivy. We had to do a session with all the villains, okay, and we recorded as a group. So Cree Summer was in it, who does Catwoman, and my friend who does Poison Ivy, Grey Griffin, and so we were all in there together. And it was intimidating, I gotta say, but it was such a great learning experience being there with like some of the greatest voice actors, women voice actors in this business, and just being able to hear them and hear their interpretation of the role, and just actually being there with them was just a blessing. And I'm just so grateful for the show and just the success it's had since it's aired, But it's definitely intimidating because I felt like, I felt like a small little beginner in all this. And I'm like, oh, okay. I tried not to look at them too much, but I was kind of like, oh my God, kind of like that. That's how I was feeling.
Is Tara Strong just as much of a goofball around everybody as she is on her Instagram and all of our Twitter feeds and everything?
Yeah, I didn't, unfortunately, I never got to record with Tara, but I did walk in one of her sessions and I was behind the glass watching her with the producers, and she is a goofball. She is very funny, and I am just in awe of all the different voices that can come out of that woman's mouth.
Mm-hmm.
Like she plays like Bubbles from Powerpuff Girls.
Yep.
I'm like, what? And then she could also play Timmy Turner from Fairly Odd Parents.
Fairly Odd Parents.
I'm like, where are you getting these voices? But it's amazing what they can all do. But that's voiceover for you. That's voice acting. But it was fantastic. Such a great experience.
And then you have a connection with Brianna White, which I didn't know about this until she mentioned it on Twitter. Is that you were in her good friend Joshua Levi's short Effed Up. I'll just put it right there.
Yes, there's a lot of
we try and keep this as much of a
involved.
family show. Yeah, there's asterisks and everything involved and whatnot. So what was it like when you kind of found out that connection? Like when she actually dropped it and said you were in this?
At first I thought, wow, what a small world. But the funny thing about it is, it made me really think that this business is really a small world and everybody works with everybody, exactly like what you just said. A lot of these people that I've worked with have also been in Final Fantasy and other shows as well. And it really is a small world. And Brianna is fantastic as Aerith. I was able to see a few clips, and she's just a great gal all around. And it was just really cool to know that we know familiar people, So, and that was a great experience, doing that HBO short pilot. I don't know if I should talk about it because we want to keep it as kid friendly as possible, but but what it's about, right? I'm sure you've read about it.
I looked a little bit about it. I'm like, okay. It's like
he's like, do I want to talk about this?
I just more wanted to bring it because your guys' connection, right? Because it was like all of a sudden it's like, hey, by the way, Joshua Levi.
Absolutely. It's definitely a coming of age type of short. I would say. Like coming of age, like, she goes through things and then she comes out a new person.
And then you have you had a YouTube webisode, Starving Actor Problems.
Oh my gosh, don't bring that up. You said you were going to be nice, Matt. Oh my gosh.
I was curious, what made you actually start that project? Because when you look at what the synopsis is and stuff, it actually sounds intriguing, but what made you kind of just go that route with it?
I really wanted to start that project because I wanted to find an avenue and a way to help other aspiring actors, throughout their journey in their career. So what I would do is, I've been doing this for very many years, and I wanted to gather as many experiences, good or bad, and be able to just share them with other actors and actresses, and hoping that maybe that they could, learn something from it and, get a few takeaways from it. So it's just mainly to just help, my fellow actors and actresses out. So that's why. So I would write it. They're like little skits. I would write it, and then I would also shoot it and edit it and the whole thing. So that was my little amateur filmmaking moment.
Wow. And that's the thing. It's awesome that you do that, though, because there's a lot of actors that won't, right? They'll just be like, no, I'm too high of a pedestal. I don't care. Then there's writers and directors that, and actors that are like, hey, absolutely, whatever can make you better, help you out, here you go.
Like I totally feel like we're all, trying to accomplish the same goal almost in a sense. And why not help another person out if you can, I mean, why always make it just me? Oh, I'm going to do this. I want to be the top. But, I truly believe that, you have to help somebody, that's coming up with you or on the bottom, because you're going to see them when you get to the top, so you have to help everybody, whoever it is.
Yep.
I truly believe that.
And with independent films, especially from an actor's perspective, don't you feel like you have a lot more freedom with independent projects? When you're not necessarily on the same type of timelines, you're not trying to please as many people with producers and executive producers and specific types of directors or specific type of visions of people, because I usually feel like independent projects is more collaborative than anything.
Correct. Yeah, and that's the great thing about it is you get to be able to portray your voice and what your voice is in filmmaking. And for sure, like going the independent route is great because you do have that privilege to be able to take your time and be able to write what speaks to you, and hopefully others, enjoy it and they'll take what they can from it. But yeah, absolutely.
That's awesome.
I always wondered too, like now that you've done like that independent stuff, like when you go through the whole thing, like editing and just double checking and stuff, do you ever feel like you're like, oh hey, you know what, maybe I should reshoot that, or like, oh, it's not what I'm like looking for?
All the time. Let me
feel that.
Let me tell you.
Because I feel that
I feel that.
I feel that here sometimes, and I'm like, oh well, that's done is done.
You're like, oh, why did I say that? Yeah.
You should see my recycle bin. After I get done making a video, my recycle bin is like 7 gigs big. Like I have to delete so much off my computer because I mess up all the time, or I'm like, I really need to refilm that because I hate the way I said it.
Yeah, I think a lot of us creative types, we struggle with perfectionism, right? And I think like as a creative person, you want to make something that's close to perfect, but we have to realize that nothing is always going to be perfect, and I struggle with that all the time. But sometimes those little mistakes and those silly things that happen actually make you human, and they humanize you, and people like you a little bit sometimes more when they see that, this person's human, and they for instance, for an actor, they flubbed up a line, but we liked it, because she kept going, or I think it just makes you human, But I totally understand. Yeah, you have that like, I wish I could have done it this way. I wish I could have done that. But I think not everything's going to be perfect. But you got to do the best that you can do at that time.
See, and that's the way I am behind the camera lens. I am OCD. I am like, everything has to be perfect.
I don't think it's only behind the camera lens, be honest.
No, it's
Okay,
not.
but-
It's not only behind the camera lens.
Wow. All right.
Call out.
I just got thrown under the bus and backed up over. But here's the thing, though. It's like you mentioned about it being human, right? And like for me, when I had my photography business, is that I would, like, when I did weddings, right? I used to give, as part of my packages, I used to just give them every shot that was what I would consider usable, right? So non-usable is where people are blinking or the lighting just was so bad, you know, you couldn't correct it. But there's things that people do sometimes in pictures that just make the moment, right? So when I got married, Jerry, who wasn't with us, right, decided in the middle of everything, we're in the middle of our shoot, he just goes like, puts his arms out and just makes it all about him. But it was just, that moment is one of my favorite pictures of me and the guys because it's Jerry. It is him. That's who he is, right? And even like we did some shots at, you know, with Jason's wedding when flew out to California to shoot that, and like it was one of those ones.
My wedding.
We recreated some of those Rat Pack, those classic 40s pictures, right? But put a nice little twist on them, and it was like that's who they were, right? And you have to have that, and or you lose who you are, right? If you don't accept that. So yeah.
No, totally.
Theo, yes, I am OCD 100%. When it comes to things. Yes, I am.
First step is admittance, so I'm proud of you.
But, you know, on the pro side, you know, you do have to be particular and you do have to know who you are, and you don't want to put something out that's bad, of course. You want to have some form of professionalism. So, yeah, but I think it's also like finding, you know, that middle ground, you know?
And much like you, too, is I was like, if there was an up-and-comer, right, like even the one that shot my wedding, right, I even took her on a shoot with me to kind of show her how to really start learning how to use her camera. But that's one thing, is someone came to me now and said, hey, I need some help with this. I'm like, absolutely, I will help you learn. I will teach you some things, because I learned old school, 35 millimeter, completely full manual, in the dark room, in the dark closet, you know, doing all the film. So I have a history. Yeah. I loved developing film. That was fun.
It's a classic.
It is, tradition. But if you messed up rolling the film, you lost an entire roll. You know, no matter if the shot it went through the camera or not, if you messed it up just one little bit and you didn't crimp down the cap on that thing and a little bit of light got in, whole roll of 24 to 36 frames is gone.
Yikes.
So, and that's where the OCD comes into play, because for me it was one shot, that was it. That was money. That was legit, real money going through my camera every time. So, now talking about new projects and stuff too, is you have I Would Have Kissed You coming out. It's in post-production right now.
Yes, it is.
What can you tell everybody about that?
So it was pretty much a friend of mine who's a great director and writer. Her name is Hadley. Her and her writing partner wrote this. I Would Have Kissed You, and it's about two roommates. Well, it's kind of like based off their life, to be honest. So two roommates that kind of just kind of go through life together, and they have the ups and downs of course, like, you know, the dating life and just kind of like jobs and just things like that. But it's about these two women that just, you know, it's just really simple to just go through things. And it's like, my character is Maddie. Her name is Maddie. She goes through this phase of where she, you know, goes through these phases with guys where she doesn't really know what she's looking for, and she dates around. She finds a longtime friend of hers on Facebook, and they kind of get together and hoping that that they can make something out of their relationship, and it kind of doesn't go that way. So it's kind of like a trial and tribulations of being a woman, pretty much, and having a best friend right there by your side while you go through things, you know? So it's kind of simply put, like, that's what it's about. So they're shopping it around certain festivals, and it's made it into a couple, a festival in Miami, and then there's one here that it made. So it made a couple festivals this year. So I'm really excited. Really excited
Cool.
to see what comes with that.
Congratulations.
Hopefully some.
Thank you.
So, all right. So let's talk about the reason why Soldier's even here to begin with.
Yes.
Final Fantasy VII Remake, which is one of two of the biggest games on the planet right now, aside from with Animal Crossing.
Yes.
But
Step up your game, Xbox. I'm still calling
I know,
you out.
right?
Step up your game, Xbox. Where you at?
Well, they're about to ready to show off the Series X in a couple weeks. if
Not
the
a
rumors are
game.
True.
It's not a game still.
Ooh,
Step up your
right,
game.
yeah. So
You mean that mini fridge? You mean?
that somebody mocked up one of those and turned it into the Ghostbusters firehouse.
Yes. That's
Like,
pretty cool.
all the bricking on it and everything, and Slimer up on top. So Mallory, you play Madam M, who
Yes.
if you look at it, it's pretty much she runs a massage parlor in Wall Market and is one of the ones that can approve people to see the one
Mhm.
Don Corneo. So, from your perspective, what can you tell us about your character? For those that haven't gotten to that part of the game.
Well, I'll piggyback off what you said. Yeah, she's one of the trio that you kind of have to go through in order to audition for Don Corneo. She she kind of, I would say, has like a split personality. I don't know. She kind of has a couple sides to her. She can be very very calm, inviting, sultry even. But then the minute you cross her, you say something that upsets her, she can get into, kind of go into a screaming fit and scream her head off. I think she, she loves her business and she's proud of her business. She's a bit prideful and, I wouldn't say she's all about the money, but, she's a boss and she wants to make money at her massage parlor. So you kind of got to get through her to, depending on how much skill you have, you get your hand massage and then, you move on. But, that's what I would say about her. She has a split personality.
I will say this. I don't care how many personalities she has. I love all of them. Also, if you do not
he wants me to pay him more as being Madam M's bodyguard.
If you do
No,
not pay this
check.
woman,
Hold on.
if you do not pay this woman 3,000 gil, you're a peasant. I'm sorry. I'm gonna call it. I'm saying it right now. Pay that woman.
Pay
He's
the
just
woman.
not
telling you.
he's not only a fan, he's a client.
Damn straight. She has to make her money at the parlor. So thank you for providing that 3,000
I have very fine taste. Thank you very much.
Classy taste, I might add. Thank you.
So, what was it like auditioning? Did they reach out to you, or did your representation kind of come to you and go, "Hey, there's this gig, they're opening auditions for that we want you to try out for"?
Well, I received my audition from my agency, and I auditioned for it. And the funny thing about it, I auditioned for it about a year ago, and they give, this is top secret. It's under a code name and everything.
Yep.
So what I like to do before every voiceover audition is I always make sure to research, what this project is and who was involved with it and who are the other voice actors in it, all this kind of stuff. But I couldn't even research anything because it was under a code name. It was top secret. So I was like, okay, well, I'll do it. And, I do most of my auditions here at home. And usually when they give you scripts, there's no context whatsoever. You have literally they give you a little synopsis, like personality traits of the character, a little bio about the character, but nothing else, very short. And then they have, usually about 5 separate paragraphs or lines. So you as a voiceover actor they have to pretty much color between the lines and think, okay, well, maybe this person could be working here, or maybe this just happened, and so this to inform the character. But that's pretty much how the audition was. I got this script. I no idea what had just happened before each line, and just kind of had to fill in the blanks with my voice. And then a year later, so I recorded this in let's see, when was it? Last year, end of last year, and I finally got a call saying that I had booked Madam M. And then I was like, this is fantastic. I booked a job. I'm grateful for it. What is it? And the funny thing about it is my agents had no idea either. And they were like, no, we don't know. But good luck. Have fun. And so the funny thing about it is the first recording session I went into, I knew right away when I walked into to meet the producers and the voice director and the writer, and I saw on the TV screen, because sometimes we voice to just a voice, or like a demo, or sometimes we voice to what we see on the screen, and I saw Cloud, so I saw his character, and the minute I saw that, I looked at the TV, and I went, and I looked at the producers and the vocal director, and they just looked at me and they went, like simply that. And I just kind of shut my mouth and I tried not to pee my pants, and I went in and did my job. Because I know how big Final Fantasy is, and I was like, and it's just everything was really top secret, but that's kind of how it went down.
Well, that about answers my question on how you felt when you got the role.
That's literally, I was shocked, surprised. So many emotions at once.
Had you ever played the original or seen the original?
Okay, I'm going to be honest with you guys. I have not. Okay, I know you guys are like, oh, that's so sad.
Actually, you're not alone. I've never.
You're not the only one.
You're good.
So, funny story.
Yeah. Don't yell at me. I even admitted, like, what was it, 2 episodes ago? I was like, I have not finished a single Final Fantasy game in existence. I have played many. I have never finished one.
You two aren't doing your jobs. Like, what are you doing here?
Oh, look at that.
I am the redheaded stepchild of the group, so they just kind of put baby in the corner anyways. So they're doing their job.
You never put baby in the corner.
Yeah, but he does our movie. He used to do our movie reviews for us. But
if the theaters would open,
dude, the theater is like.
Dude, you get everything on iTunes anyways. They're releasing it on iTunes.
I'm just really glad that I'm not alone in this whole thing. Thank you, Theo.
Absolutely not. You're good.
So you are definitely not
alone.
I
don't forgive Theo.
Hold on. Soldier, did you forgive Brianna White?
Yes, because she's currently playing it.
Oh.
She had never played it before getting the role, and she's going through it.
Wow, another similarity. That is so great.
You need to get with her because she's actually was doing these sessions where she had John on for a little bit, where they played through part of the game. Erica was on with her for another part of the game. She's having everybody come on and play part of the game with her and talk it through. Vic Chow, who plays Sang, never played Final Fantasy.
Yeah.
Oh, good. I'm so glad.
His wife did.
I'm so glad.
His wife did, and she had to school him on, what FF7 really means, everybody. So
funny story. I actually have a connection. I actually have a connection to Brianna White as well. I met her at PAX East, and then I recently just collabed with her on a video.
Nice.
So that was a lot of fun.
Wow. Brianna, she's a cool gal, that gal. I'm so glad I'm not the only one. But I mean, I knew how big of a franchise it was, and just I know that everybody does like cosplay and all this kind of stuff, but I didn't know how big this was. How big, you know? Like, I'm sure you guys know, like 3.5 million digital downloads in over 3
I
days.
saw that, and I'm like, part of me was like, well, you know what? 2 of those are mine because I have a digital and physical. um,
6? 6, soldier?
6 of them are your. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Oh
He's
yeah,
got
that's
his-
true. You have the collector's edition, the deluxe edition. You have 2 of the deluxe editions. Like, jeez.
So what did you do? Did you just get an extra just so you could have the extra case?
I mean, among other things like pre-order bonuses, I'm a sucker for pre-order bonuses. Sue me.
and $300 collector's editions.
What are you gonna do? You know, it's that
Right.
bodyguard money.
Put it back in your employer. There you go. So, Soldier, here's your fanboy moment.
Jeez.
You can what would you like to ask Mallory?
Oh man. So, what was your favorite scene to record for the game?
Well, there are 2 scenes. One of the scenes was, yes, one of the massage scenes. It was the one that you buy all the time. Okay. It was very.
Every time.
Yeah, the 3,000. Okay. It was very. It was a very fun scene and a very, I'd say, uncomfortable scene for other people. But that was a very fun scene. But also, just even the scene where she's talking to Aerith and Cloud about how there's one more battle that they have to do, and that she wasn't expecting, and where she had to do that screaming fit that she has, where she had to say like a mouthful of like 10 bad words in one sentence, which was pretty clever. I was like, wow, cool. That's a lot of bad words. Here we go. So it was also that scene as well. So I think there's very many funny scenes about, that I had to do. One of my favorite lines is when she says peek and I'll poke her eyes out. When she helps Aerith get dressed, and gives Aerith a makeover, and she tells Cloud peek and I'll poke her eyes out. I just think that she has all these quirks, and they're so sarcastic and they're so funny, and like you don't want to cross Madame M, those are 2 of my favorite scenes. It's hard to choose, but those are 2 of my favorites.
So actually, it's funny, that scene you were talking about with the string of curse words, that's actually my favorite scene in that game, in that segment, because like it's like you see this character, and I feel like you did a really good job of showing that graceful side of her, but at the same time, like you've got this character that is just with the don't peek or I'll poke your eyes out thing. That's like her being a perfectionist and wanting the most amount of beauty to come out of Aerith that she can possibly get before the world sees her. It's like a presentation that you're doing. And then it's like you take that graceful character and you put her in a situation where like things that aren't going her way. It seems like she's used to getting her way. She's very forceful. She does what she needs to do to get her way, and when she doesn't, that dark side, that
it comes out.
That powerful moment comes out, and it's just like you don't expect it, but at the same time you do, just from the attitude of the character. And those lines were so perfectly delivered. I was like, I do not want to cross this woman ever.
Thank you. Yeah, she's very much she likes having control, and when there's a situation where that's out of her hands and that she can't control, I mean, she just turns on a dime quick, and so that was the intention for the character, was to have that graceful side and then immediately be able to just boom, switch and kind of show that side of her. So I'm really glad you enjoyed that. That was a very fun session when we did that.
Very nice. So I gotta ask you, Mallory. So with you being in Final Fantasy VII and stuff like that, do you do any gaming?
Do I do? Yes, I do. I mean, I just started doing gaming, and I do have an Xbox, which I'm sure everybody's like, oh, an Xbox. But it's the first Xbox that has ever come out. It's like it's old.
Okay, she's going OG original. Okay.
I'm going OG. I've played a few games, like first-person shooter games like Far Cry and like Red Dead Redemption, like kind of like those things. So I do I'm not a gamer because I kind of don't have the time to do it as much. But there are some games I've played like Call of Duty and and stuff like that, and they're fun. They're really fun. Yeah. So I wouldn't say I am a gamer. I'm not like you guys. You guys are like really into video games. I don't have that skill. I'm actually not really good at them.
It's okay. Neither's Jerry. Jerry's not good either.
Yeah. Jerry's not
It's
good.
okay. It's okay. Theo's not very good at Final Fantasy, so.
For sure. I'll take it. It's true.
Yeah, it's.
I have to play
It's
every
fun.
game I play. I have to play on easy, because I'm not a very good gamer. I'm like really terrible. I got to be honest. I'm not very good at it.
So I think
worry.
you need to get a PS4 and get the remake.
I
So
do.
we can,
In
so
fact,
we can see your reaction to that, like when you
Right.
actually see your character play out in the game. That would be awesome to see, actually.
I know. In fact, I mean, that's the thing. Like, I don't have a PS4, but I was actually going to go to a friend's house and actually play on his PS4 and play it. But unfortunately, #Corona. So we, and social distancing, so that can happen. But I mean, down the line, I mean, I'm, I would love to get a PS4, but we'll see once everything kind of settles around the world. See what
I
happens.
mean, that's if you can find them right now.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
gaming consoles in general, it's like a hot market for them right now to the point where you got eBay jacking up prices for everything, Amazon jacking up prices. So, Soldier, have you managed to play anything else? I know you were playing Lost Odyssey last week, so
I'm currently still playing Lost Odyssey. I'm actually going to start a hard mode run of FF7R. So
hard mode.
I'm gonna probably have to lay off the 3,000 gil massages for a while because I'm gonna have to afford some controllers. Sacrifices will have to be made. I'm sorry.
is it as bad as I'm gonna kind of throw him under the bus a little bit with all the love in the world, Dandy, but is hard mode literally as hard as they're making it up, like Dandy and all them are making it out to be on Twitter, that it's no items and just a...
Okay, so it is, bosses have new moves, like bosses have completely new move sets. You can't recover MP unless it's with the crates that you find. You can't even rest at benches and get your MP back. You can't use items. And I think I want to say that enemies do more damage and you might do less, but I can't confirm that. Yeah.
When did Dark Souls come to Final Fantasy?
You know what? I'm actually refreshed that Final Fantasy is actually difficult again. Like, it feels like such a good balance of difficulty, and then it's like hard mode actually teaches you the mechanics so much better because it's like it is throwing everything at you. It's making you resource manage. It's actually a really good system. So I'm excited to get my playthrough started like fully.
I really like the
Maybe
concept
I
of
should-
the new move sets for the boss. Like that way, it's just not repetitive for the player and just making it harder. It's like a whole new experience.
Yeah, maybe I need to start playing all my video games on hard mode. Maybe that'll just teach me to shoot better and be a better player.
Madam M will start coming out if you play on hard mode. Trust me.
I mean,
oh, seriously.
Hearing that, it's like me doing my Horizon Zero Dawn ultra hard run right now. I'm like, damn, at least I can get some items in Horizon. At least I can heal in places.
That's crazy.
I still
Oh,
don't
no.
get it. I still don't get it, Matt. Like you'll go for this ultra hard playthrough. Soldier's all excited about his hard playthrough, but you rage quit on Luigi Mansion.
Yeah.
I don't get it, man. I don't
Talk
get it.
about
It's
controllers.
Luigi's Mansion.
You know what's funny is so that boss, right? I rage quit on that. Dude, King Boo is no joke. He is kicking my butt right now. And it's just because you have to line up things so perfectly to trigger him and everything. And he's got 3 waves. So he's got one set of moves for the first wave. Second wave, he's got a different set of moves and whatnot. So I've gotten him down about half-life, and he just manages to basically turn the corner and go, nope, I'm done dealing with you. But no, I think with Horizon though is I think to like Soldier's point, like Final Fantasy VII teaches you like the true mechanics, right? Horizon on ultra hard is kind of the same way. It is you have to know the mechanics to survive. You have to understand how to get around the Watchers. You have to understand the Corruptors. I am not looking forward to my first fight with a Thunderjaw because I can tell you right now, I mean, they're hard in the original game to begin with. But yeah, that's kind of on the back burner right now because I've got FF7, but then I've also got Animal Crossing, which is the rest of the world's current addiction.
Looking at your island, you have spent far too many hours on that. I would say that you've probably surpassed Eva at this point.
I don't know. I don't know. I mean, last time I looked, I was north of 150 hours.
What?
Into Animal Crossing.
Only 150.
What?
Dang.
I thought
It's
I
been
was
out
bad,
for-
like approaching 20.
It's been out for 30 days though, so.
Oh?
So? I mean, what else am I going to do when I'm tethered to my desk and don't have anything to do?
True.
Fair enough.
Just saying.
Fair enough.
True.
I'm sure
So-
your employer would love to hear that.
Dude, hold on. You played Magic on the floor at your desk.
Okay,
Your
that
last-
job was nearly a decade ago.
Let it go.
Jeez. I played Magic.
I mean,
we get it.
we let the chair incident go a while back, so we're good.
Yes.
So, Jason, what you been playing?
I am still playing Final Fantasy 14. I'm
Still
You
looking
know,
for that
Final
raid group?
I'm still looking for a raid group right now. I'm
Oh.
on Elder. It's okay. I'm taking my time. I'm going between Final Fantasy 7, 14,
Are
and
you going to resort to LFG if you don't get a raid group?
eventually. I mean, right now we're waiting for patch 5.3, which is going to be coming out soon. But since coronavirus, it's going to be a little bit later than anticipated. But it's okay. But yeah, just those two right now. Just Final Fantasy, and more Final Fantasy.
So you switch off between like 2 games? Like today I'm
no,
going to
so,
play Final Fantasy 14, and then
so
in 5
well,
hours I'm going to play Final Fantasy 7 Remake.
no, well, yes and no.
Depends on if the
it's-
wife wants to give up the game or not.
Yeah, it
I
depends on if.
did like that Mallory
now.
said that you did 5 hours and then switched.
Yeah.
She gave you a full 5 hours.
Yeah, you gotta rest in between.
It's not the 17 hours that Matt spends playing Animal Crossing every day, but it's
Yeah.
close.
No, yeah,
I
no,
gotta
it's funny
sleep
you say
2
that,
hours.
Mallory, though.
I gotta get 2 hours of sleep.
It's funny you say that because like my wife was playing Final Fantasy 7 when we got it, so I was like, yeah, no problem, babe, because I'll be playing 14 and plus I had work, so I would get home from work, I'd be like, I'm too tired. So she would play, and then she would play a lot more, and I was like, okay, well, since she finished, I was like, okay, now I can kind of switch over to Final Fantasy 7. She's like, yeah, the game is great. She really loves your character, by the way, as well.
Oh, thank
Um,
you. Thank you.
But I have to ask though, is there any representation, or what does M stand for in the Madam M?
To be honest, I can't answer. I don't know. I don't have
Soldier
that,
might be able to
an
answer
answer
that.
for you. Soldier, do you have?
I honestly, I don't know either. I don't think there's any dialogue in the game that actually.
Yeah, I
Tells you.
didn't see it. I didn't think so either. But I mean, now at least it's
That's
Madam
something we could
Madam
think
Mallory
about. Like,
now,
what
I
does the
guess.
M stand? Yeah, Madam Mallory. What does the M
There
stand?
you go.
I mean,
Sold it right there. Madam Mallory.
Madam Mallory.
Yep.
This
So
M.
I have a funny story for you, actually. So, this running joke on Twitter is Madam M's bodyguard, right? And I spent several tweets talking about Madam M in the game and when she was revealed and everything. I didn't know until it was revealed that you were the voice actress of Madam M. But it's funny because my wife's name is Mallory.
oh no
There
way!
you go.
What? No.
So
Are
The
you
evermore
serious?
reason, Madam Mallory.
I am 100% serious. I saw the credits, and then I saw your
No
tweet
way.
revealed that you were the voice actress, and I just started dying laughing. And my wife's
Oh
like,
my
"What's so funny?" So I froze, I took a picture of the credits, and I said, "Who plays Madam M?" And she's like, "Oh my God, you can't be serious!
Oh,
How crazy is that?"
That is very crazy. I mean, out of all the names in the world, what?
I
That is
know.
so crazy. Oh
so
my God.
that means you're
Madam
bodyguarding pro
Mallory.
bono then.
You just got
So,
you gotta
Theo?
you got to do a free one every once in a while,
For once in a while,
instead
or
of it-
just all the time?
all the time. I'm just free.
That is crazy. Wow.
I know,
So,
that's what
Theo?
I said.
So
Oh,
Theo,
man.
outside of Animal Crossing, have you played anything else?
Surprisingly enough, yes.
Oh.
I broke out the Steam library again.
Uh-oh.
I've been playing some RE2, a little bit of Little Nightmares, some Sticks. I've been dipping and dabbling a lot lately. Not too many 5-hour runs like Jason does. But
4.5, sir.
oh,
4.5.
okay.
Yes, 30-minute lunch, and then he
30-minute
goes to
lunch.
it. Yeah.
No.
Hey, he does live in California. They do have strict labor laws.
Very
You know.
few labor laws.
All right. So, Mallory, gotta ask you a question that we ask all of our guests.
Yeah.
What is your favorite game to play for game night with family and friends, regardless if it's a board game, Pictionary, whatever it is? What's your favorite game for game night with family and friends?
Ooh. Let me think about this. I'm going to take a second to think because, I have a bunch of board games. Let's see.
Jason just perked up. He's like, board games?
It's like your board games?
Okay.
Board games?
Ooh.
Yeah, board games? Board
Yeah, I
games?
do. I have a bunch of board games. Let's see. I used to love playing Stratego. Stratego. You guys remember that? Yeah. Sometimes, and depending on how much time I have, sometimes I would break out the Scrabble. I'm very much a word nerd, and I love words. But sometimes after that, I'm completely drained. Like my brain is dead. Because constructing words in your head is really time consuming, and I'm just tired. And then
You gotta make
Scramble
sure that
on.
the numbers are okay, how many points can I get from this?
yeah, the highest point on Scrabble that I got is 265 or something.
Oh my.
What?
Yeah,
Dang.
That's pretty cool.
I love
Yeah.
Scrabble.
That's gonna have
Impressive.
triple word scores and stuff in there.
Yeah.
No, seriously, but that's my strategy. I'm like, dude, I got to get this triple word score. I got to get this triple letter score. That's for me. It's okay,
Making
I
sure
got
the queue is always there.
Seriously, and also using the top scoring letters, Z, Q, and all those. So, those two, I think. I would say it's either Stratego or it's Scrapple. Yeah,
Right.
those two. Right
Nice.
now.
Well, Mallory, it's definitely been fun.
Yes,
It has-
Thank
so
you
much fun.
for
So
coming
much
on
fun.
tonight and giving our fans, listeners, and the Final Fantasy fans some insight into your career, not just Madam M. So why don't you let those listeners know where they can find you on social media?
Oh, yes, absolutely. You can find me on social media by typing in at Mallory Low. That's MALLORY LOW. And that's for Twitter, that's for Instagram, and that's for Facebook. So you would just type my first and last name to find me, and make sure to get Final Fantasy VII Remake if you haven't already, and if you're not one of those 3.5 million. And to enjoy the game. And you guys, I'm really, really grateful to be on this podcast. You guys are so cool. And thank you so much. I had such a great time.
Well, as we say to all of our guests, you are more than welcome to come back anytime you want, because we
Absolutely.
don't always just talk about games and stuff. We do talk about movies once Hollywood starts firing back up and there's actually stuff for us to talk about.
Oh
But
yeah, I would
absolutely.
love to talk about any kind of Netflix stuff or anything that you guys are watching.
Oh, if you're talking about Netflix and if you like
Tiger
trash
King,
TV,
Tiger King.
if you like,
That
oh
show
no,
was so
not Tiger
insane.
King, no,
Yes!
no
You said-
Tiger
you said
King,
trash
no,
Said
no.
trash TV.
It's
So
so.
immediately I thought Tiger King. Okay.
That's
Oh.
like I like my trash TV, but that's a whole new level. Like I can't even do that. Like, I'm watching Too Hot to Handle right now, and
Oh,
that
wait.
is a whole level of trash TV. But I still can't do Tiger King.
Let me
Oh,
stop you there on Too
You
Hot to
need
Handle,
to
by the
watch
way.
Tiger King.
Let me stop you
Okay,
on Too Hot to Handle, by the way.
The funny thing about it, it's Tiger King is one of those shows that I don't really know how to explain to people. And I'm
You
like,
just have to say it's
There is no explanation.
Carol Baskin.
Jesus, Carol Baskin.
that's what my wife says
Carol
all the time.
Baskin.
Stupid Carol Baskins.
yeah, just
So-
go on TikTok something and look at all the Carol Baskin videos. Everybody
Oh,
talking about
yes.
Carol Baskin. She's
God.
the most
So-
hated woman on this at this moment.
Oh. So with that, we're gonna segue on out of the Carol Baskin moments. And to all of our listeners, thank you guys for crashing game night with us tonight. As always, if you liked what you heard, leave those comments. Make sure to follow us on the podcast platform of your choice. Don't forget, we are now moving solely over to anchor.fm for our hosting and whatnot, but we're still going to be available on iCloud, Stitcher, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Google Play, Pocket Casts. I want to thank everyone for joining us tonight. Soldier, Mallory, to everyone out there, as always, be excellent to each other and stay frosty.
Yeah, I want to definitely get an extra special shout out to both you guys. Mallory, thank you so much. Like, it's fun listening to you, like both here and in game. It's such a great time. Thank you so much. And again,
absolutely.
Soldier, yeah, and again, Soldier, you're always welcome. I mean, all the time, man.
I appreciate being on here with you guys.
You
It's
can
always
be
a
our
blast.
Red Sox. You can be our Red Sox fill-in for Jerry. Anytime, all the time.
I'll take it. I will take it.
Anytime, all the time.
Yeah,
Definitely,
Oh.
definitely a shout out to both you guys. Thank you so much for crashing game night with us tonight.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Theo?
I'm really happy to be here, and I'm
Yeah.
It was a
Theo?
pleasure to finally meet you.
I'm happy to meet my bodyguard, everybody.
Right?
Madam M's bodyguard.
And it's worth the 3,000 gil. It is worth the
It
3,000.
is. It is. I can
Yes.
confirm.
For all you out there, it's worth the
All-
3,000.
I mean, I'm pretty sure that's not all you've spent. Is not only 3,000 gil.
I mean,
If you get to that point, like really, like all the dialogues, because like I did both the high and the low, and both the dialogues are just so Madam
They're
M.
so different.
So
how
different.
dare you insult that woman by only giving her a small amount of gil? How
Hey,
dare
So
or
who
or
won't insult anybody is Theo, like you can only do.
Oh, jeez. All right,
Let us out.
guys. TTFN. Zata.
Not everybody.